सौन्दर्यलहरी कर्त्रे सर्वमङ्गलदायिने शङ्कराचार्यवर्याय यतिराजाय ते नमः. सौन्दर्यलहरी श्लोका 71. नखानामुद्योतैः नवनलिनरागं विहसतां कराणां ते कान्तिं कथय कथयामः कथमुमे कयाचिद्वा साम्यं भजतु कलया हन्त कमलं यदि क्रीडल्लक्ष्मी चरणतललाक्षारसचणम्. For Padavibhaga, look at the last word in the second line, Katham Ume. Then first word, third line, Kayachit Va. Kayachit Va. The rest are in Padam or Samasta Padam. Anvaya, Nakhanam Udyotair Navanalina Ragam Vihasatam Te Karanam Kantim Katham Kathayamaha Kathaya Ume Kamalam Kayachit Kalaya Samyam Bhajatu Va Hanta Kamalam Kridallakshmi Charanatalalakshārasachanam Yadi Samyam Bhajatu Va. In this Anvaya, you would have noticed a few words have been used again to bring out the meaning. In this shloka, Sri Bhagavatpada has described Devi's hands. He addresses her as He Ume, O Parvati, Nakhanam, of the fingernails in your hand, Udyotaihi, the shine emanating from Navanalina Ragam, beauty of the red lotus which has just blossomed, implying freshness. Vihasatam, a teasing smile or laughing at. Te, your Karanam, those hands. Kantim, the lustre of. Katham Kathayama, how should we describe? Kathaya, please you only tell. That is, the feeling is, it is not possible for us to describe Devi's hand, isn't it? What to do about it? Iti. Maybe Kamalam, the lotus, Kayachit, at some point, Kalaya, maybe in one aspect, Samyam Bhajatuva. It is possible to be similar. Can it be likened to that? When we think of comparing the lustre of the hand with the lotus, even one portion of the lotus does not match up to the beauty of the hand. So there seems to be no chance for comparison. Hanta, what to do, is an expression of feeling of loss to describe the splendor of Devi's hand. This is a feeling of dukkha. But that lotus can actually be compared at a certain time. When is that? Kamalam, that lotus, Kridal Lakshmi Charanatala Laksha Rasachanam. Kridate Lakshmi, when Devi is sporting with the lotus. Charanatala, on the soles of her feet, Laksha Rasachanam, the red lac dye which she has smeared onto. Yadi, if in case that spreads on to the lotus, then Samyam, comparison, Bhajativa could possibly be made. But this also cannot be told surely. The beauty of Devi's fingernails appears to be laughing at the red hue of the freshly blossomed lotus. That beautiful splendor of your hands, how can one describe? It seems to be impossible to me, is Bhagavatpada Shankara's opinion. He says, your fingernails are pinkish red and that lustre is reflected on the hand. The hand is therefore more red, and this red hue of the hand seems to be outshining the red hue of the freshly bloomed lotus. Usually, people find a freshly blossomed red lotus very attractive and beautiful. But even that, in the presence of Devi's hand, seems to have lost its beauty. Then with what can her hand be compared to? Maybe if the same lotus comes into contact with the red lac dye applied on the sole of Devi's feet when she plays with the lotus, then perhaps the lotus will be red enough to match up to the luster of one portion of Devi's hand. Of course, one cannot be sure of this. Lakshmi is said to reside in the lotus. That's why she has another name, Kokanada Grihe. The five-faced Mahadeva, the four-faced Brahma, six-faced Shanmukha, thousand-faced Adisesha, and many other divine beings could not describe even a portion of the beauty of Devi's big toe on her feet. They could not say for sure it is like this iti. When this is the reality, how will it be possible for us ordinary human beings to describe your hands? That only you have to tell is the sentiment expressed in this word. The truth is, there is no object of comparison because she is the source of beauty for everything else in nature. A significance of the name Ume is when Parvati was going to do tapas, then her mother Menaka said, "Ooh, Ma, don't do tapas." U means tapas here, Ma means don't do. So Uma became her name. When used as a form of address, Sambodhana, it becomes Ume. Chana is a pratyaya, suffix, which gives the meaning joined. Laksha rasa chanam means if joined or combined with the red dye. Harihi Om. Saundarya Lahari Shloka 72. Samam Devi Skandadvipavadana Pitam Stanayugam Tavedam Nah Khedam Haratu Satatam Prasnutamukham YadalokyaShankakulitahridayo Hasajanakaha Swakumbhau He Rambaha Parimrishati Hastena Jhaditi. For Padavibhaga, look at the first word, second line, Tava idam. Then third line, Yat alokya ashanka kulita hridayaha. Now we will look at the Anvaya. Devi samam skandadvipavadana pitam idam prasnutamukham tava stanayugam naha khedam satatam haratu yat alokya ashanka kulita hridayaha herambaha hasajanakaha hastena jhatiti swakumbhau parimrishati. In this shloka, Acharya describes Devi's pair of breasts. O Devi, that is mother of the universe, Samam, at the same time, Skanda, that is baby Shanmukha, and Dvipavadana, baby Ganesha, Pitam, drinking milk, Idam Prasnuta Mukham, this milk from your breasts flowing continuously, Tava, your Stanayugam, that pair of breasts, Naha, our, Khedam, means Dukkham, sorrow, Satatam, always, Haratu, may it destroy. Yat, that your breasts, Alokya, seeing, Herambaha, baby Ganapati, Ashanka Kulita Hridayaha, Ashanka Akulita Hridayaha, having a mind filled with doubt and fear. That is, baby Ganapati appears to be thinking, has my Amba taken out the temples from my head and placed it on her chest? Iti. With this doubt, Hasa Janakaha, invoking humor, amusing those who are looking at the children, he, Hastena, with his hands, Jhatiti, immediately, Swakumbhau, the two temples which are on his head, Parimrishati, he touches and feels them. Baby Ganesha is doubtful if his two temples are in place or not. So he touches them to ensure they are still part of him. Bhagavati's two children, Ganesha and Shanmukha, are revered and worshipped by all in the world. The poet says that is because they were fed milk by Bhagavati herself. A pleasant incident from the past is recalled here. When the children were toddlers, at the sight of her young children, it is said, milk would overflow from Mother Bhagavati. At one such time, Mata Bhagavati was nursing them. Then baby Ganesha lifted his head and looked at his mother's breasts. He was confused and frightened. He thought Amba clipped off his temples and placed it on her breasts. So he touched his head to make sure the temples were still present. This innocent childish act induced laughter in all those who were present there. Meaning implied in this verse is Bhagavati's motherly affection is such that just like she satiates the hunger of her babies, we who are all her children will undoubtedly be cared for by Amba Bhagavati. She will fulfill all our desires because she is Jagan Mata. Similar to a young mother in this mortal world, when she just thinks of her baby, milk is said to naturally flow from her chest. And this is true of Jagannatha also. Sri Shankara has meditated on Jagannatha Bhagavati, visualizing her with her babies, praying for and seeking the same flow of motherly affection from her towards all of us, her devotees, who are all her children. The other prayer is, may Jagannatha shower her grace in abundance on all of us. Hari Om. Saundarya Lahari Shloka 73. Amute Vakshojau Amrita Rasa Manikya Kutupau न संदेह स्पंदो नगपति पताके मनसि नः पिबन्तौ तौ यस्मात् अविदितवधू संगरसिकौ कुमारावद्यापि द्विरदवदन क्रौंच दलनौ. For Padavibhaga, look at the last line, first word, Kumarau Adya Api. Anvaya, He Nagapati Patake, Amu te Vakshojau Amritarasa Manikya Kutupau Naha Manasi Sandeha Spandaha Na Yasmat Tau Pibantau Aviditavadhu Sanga Rasikau Dvirada Vadana Krauncha Dalanau Tau Adya Api Kumarau. In this shloka, Bhagavatpada describes the significance of being nursed by Bhagavati herself. She is addressed as He Nagapati Patake Naga Na Gachati iti Nagaha, mountain. Nagapati is Lord of the mountains, means Himavan. To that Himavan's Vamsha, family, outstanding as the flag, Pataka, that O Parvati, Amu Te Vakshojau, these two, your breasts, are Amrita Rasa Manikya Kutupau. Kutupau means kumbha, that is a pot-shaped brass vessel used specifically for puja, in which Devi is invoked and worshipped. Manikya is made up of rubies. Amrita Rasa is filled with the life-giving nectar. In other words, Bhagavati's breasts are symbolically said to be representing a bright gem-studded pot filled with nectar of immortality. In this matter, Naha Manasi, in our mind, Sandeha Spandaha, even a small doubt, Nasti, doesn't exist. Yasmat, why? Because Tau, from those two breasts, Pibantau, the children who are being nursed, Avidita Vadhu Sanga Rasikau, they are till today remaining young as children. They have not attained the youthful attraction for seeking the company of young girls. Who are they? Dvirada Vadana Krauncha dalanau. Dvirada is elephant. Vadana is face. So Dvirada Vadana means Gajananaha, Ganesha. And Krauncha dalana means Shanmukha. The two of them, Adya Api, even to this day, Kumarau, as boys, Bhavataha, they continue to remain. Bhagavad Pada says, Bhagavati's breasts are undoubtedly ruby-studded kalasha filled with the essence of nectar which gives immortality. The reason is Gajanana and Shanmukha, who have been receiving nourishment from those two kalashas till today, continue to remain as young boys. That is, the change is common to other human beings in the form of infant to toddler, toddler to the stage of boy, boy to the stage of teenager, and then adult, so on, has stopped for the two of them. They continue to remain as Mata Bhagavati's children. So they are called Kumarau. In other words, they have not grown past the milk fed age. Only those who have Bhagavati's grace will be blessed to receive that life giving nectar from Mata Bhagavati herself. One who is fortunate to receive this nectar will be blessed with Paramananda Bhava, is the essence of this verse. Harihi Om. Saundarya Lahari, Shloka 74. वहत्यम्ब स्तम्भेरमदनुजकुम्भप्रकृतिभिः समारब्धां मुक्तामणिभिरमलां हारलतिकां कुचाभोगो बिम्बाधररुचिभिरन्तःशबलितां प्रतापव्यामिश्रां पुरदमयितुः कीर्तिमिव ते. First word, Padavibhaga, Vahati Amba. In the second line, second word, Muktamani Bhihi Amalam. Then third line, look at the second word, Bimbadhara Ruchi Bhihi Antaha. Then last line, just before the last word, Kirtim Iva. Now Anvaya, He Amba, Te कुचाभोगः स्तम्भेरम दनुज कुम्भप्रकृतिभिः मुक्तामणिभिः समारब्धाम् अमलां हारलतिकां बिम्बाधररुचिभिः अन्तः शबलितां प्रतापव्यामिश्रां पुरदमयितुः कीर्तिम् इव. हे Amba, O Mother of the world, Te, your Kuchabhogaha, your breasts, Stambe Rama Danuja Kumbha Prakritibihi. Stambe Rama means the elephant Asura named Gajasura. Kumbhaha is temples of the elephant. Prakriti is Janmabhumihi, place of origin. So, Stambe Rama Danuja Kumbha Prakriti means obtained from the skull of Gajasura. Mukta Manibhihi, valuable pure pearls. Samarabdham, strung together into a chain. Amalam, strung together into a chain is Haralatikam. Amalam, without any impurities or free from any defects. Bimbadhara Ruchi Bhihi. Bimba is a fruit, Adhara is lips, Ruchi means Kantihi or shine. According to poetic convention, the luster of the lips is compared to the pinkish red Bimba fruit. Antaha inside, Shabalitam having the hue of many colors. Such a Haralatikam, pearl chain, resembling a creeper. Puradamaituhu, of that Parameshwara who killed Tripurasura. Pratapa Vyamishram. Pratapa is valor, Vyamishram combined with that. Kirtim Iva, like the fame of Vahati, adorns. That is, Devi's chest adorns a pearl chain which has many colors reflecting. According to poetic convention, valor is indicated by red color. and fame is indicated by white color. Devi is described as adorning a very valuable string of pure pearls. Those pearls are said to have originated in the skull of Gajasura. Her lips are a shining red, and that luster is reflected by the pearls. This appears like as though these pearls are made of different colors. The poet gives a reason for why the pearls are reflecting red color and white color. Because this pearl string is adorned by Devi on her chest, the reddish hue seems to denote the valor of Lord Shiva. How do we know this? When Parameshwara killed Gajasura and Tripurasura, the blood that flowed out from their body seems to be the red color reflected by the pearls. As a result of this victory over the Asuras, Parameshwara's fame is said to have reached far and wide. Fame being compared to whitish color, here the natural whiteness of the pearl seems to denote Parameshwara's fame. In essence, it is as though the variegated color reflected by the string of pearls adorned by Devi is an expression of Parameshwara's valor. In other words, Bhagavati seems to be proudly displaying her beloved husband's bravery and fame in the form of the string of pearls adorning her chest. Scholars say that pearls originate from 6 sources. There is a verse indicating this. Gajakumbheshu vamsheshu phanasu jaladheshu cha shuktikayam ikshudande shodha mauktika sambhavaha. These are the 6 places from where the pearls are said to originate. Further, Gajakumbhe Karburabhaha Vamshe Raktasita Smritaha Phanasu Vasukeriva Neelavarnaha Prakirtitaha Jyotirvarnastu Jaladhehe Shuktikayam Sita Smritaha Ikshudande Pitavarnaha Manayo Mauktika Smritaha. The colors reflected from these sources is described. Gajakumbheshu means from the frontal lobe of Gajasura's skull. Vamseshu means bamboo. Phanasu means the hooded serpents. Jaladheshu means the clouds. Shuktikayam means oyster shells. Ikshudande means sugarcane stalks. These are the 6 places, Shodha, from where pearls originate. Mauktika Sambhavaha. Pearls from elephant skull is said to be of a pinkish red color, that is a mix of white and red. Similar color are pearls obtained from bamboo. Then pearls from the hooded serpents, means Vasuki, cobra, etc. are said to be bluish black in color. Neela Varnaha. Then pearls from the clouds are said to have the hue of lightning white. Jyotir Varnaha. Then pearls from sugarcane are said to have a yellowish hue. Pita Varnaha. Pearls from oyster shell are pure white, which is considered to be the most valuable. How to understand the word Stambe Rama, which means elephant? Let's take a look at that. That is, this is called Shabda Nirvachana or etymology of the word Stambe Rama. It goes like this. Stamba means banana tree, and it also has the meaning of a variety of grass. Since elephants like both these very much, Stambe Ramate iti Stambe Rama. This is the reason why elephant has a synonym of Stambe Rama. The verse is concluded here. Harihi Om. Saundarya Lahari Shloka 75. Tavastanyam manye dharanidhara kanye hridayataha payaf paravaraha parivahati saraswatamiva dayavatya dattam dravida sishuraswadya tava yat kavinam praudhanam ajani kamaniyah kavaita. For Padavibhaga, look at the last word in the second line, Saraswatam iva. Then third word in the third line, Dravida Sishuhu Aswadya. Anvaya, He Dharanidhara Kanye, Tava Stanyam Hridayataha Payaf Paravaraha Saraswatamiva Parivahati Manye. Yat Dayavatya Dattam Tava Stanyam Dravida Sishuhu Aswadya Praudhanam Kavinam Kamaniyaha Kavayita Ajani. In this shloka, Bhagavad-pada has described the significance of the milk given by Bhagavati herself. He Dharani Dhara Kanye. Dharani means Bhumihi, earth, and Dharani Dhara means mountain. Kanye is daughter. So, Dharani Dhara Kanye means, O daughter of Himavan, Parvati, Tava, your, Stanyam, milk from your breast. Hridayataha, from your heart, Payaf Paravaraha, it flows like the ocean of milk. Saraswatam iva, resembling goddess Saraswati, that is in the form of knowledge pouring out of the goddess of speech, Vagdevi. Parivahati, it flows out. Manye, so I think. Yat, why? Because Dayavatya Tvaya, with your compassion, Dattam, that which has been given, Tava, your, Stanyam, breast milk, Dravida Sishuhu, this infant born in Dravida Desha, Aswadya, who, on enjoying that, Praudhanam Kavinam, among great poets, as a Kamaniyaha, charming, Kavayita, creator of treatises, Ajani, he came to be popular. There is a short historical narration connected to the description in this verse. Pujya Shankara Bhagavad-pada's father was an ardent devotee of Parameshwari. Every day he used to offer worship in a temple which was located just outside his village. He would offer milk as Naivedya at the end of the puja to Bhagavati. Then he would feed that milk prasada to his son Shankara, who also would accompany him. Baby Shankara thought that Bhagavati drank the milk offered and then gave some for him, which his father was feeding him. On one occasion, once Shankara's father had to travel outside the village. He gave the responsibility of doing puja to Bhagavati to Shankara's mother and left. For a few days she performed puja. One day she could not go, so she sent Shankara himself to perform the puja. Child Shankara, after performing the puja, offered milk to Bhagavati. He waited for Devi to come and drink it. Time went by, but Bhagavati did not drink it. So, child Shankara asked Bhagavati, when my father and mother offered milk, you drank it, but when I am offering, you are not drinking it. So saying, the child began crying. Seeing the innocence in the child, Bhagavati's heart melted in compassion. She manifested in person and drank up all the milk offered by the child. Now, seeing that there is no milk left for him, child Shankara again cried. Overcome with compassion, Jaganmata Bhagavati herself nursed child Shankara with her breast milk. It appeared like she fed the child with all knowledge. So, while returning home from the temple, the child was seen reciting profound verses praising Ishvara. By then his father had returned home. Seeing drops of milk on the child's face and the brilliance emanating from the child's face, also on hearing the verses chanted, the father was astonished. The same night, Shankara's father had a vision in which Bhagavati told him that his child Shankara now belongs to Bhagavati herself, and he is an incarnation of Parameshwara, and that he will be a great contributor and upholder of dharma in the society. This narration is said to be implied in this verse by the words Dravida Sishuhu Aswadya. Then Shankara says that this is the reason why he became the best among the great poets. By the words Kavinam Praudhanam Ajani Kamaniyaha Kavita. Bhagavad-pada Shankara's compositions are not only replete with philosophy, they also excel in poetic and literary beauty. In a sense, this verse implies that anything can be made possible if one receives Bhagavati's blessings. The words Payavparavaraha denotes that Bhagavati's grace will be showered always on a true seeker. Harihi Om.